Hello lovelies, my name is Tarina. Welcome back. If you've been here before, welcome. If you haven't, today's class is going to be lovely and relaxing, nice and gentle, only seated postures and no standing or really active poses at all today to allow us to relax and rest the body and the mind. You shouldn't need any props, but as always, option to grab them if you like to have them nearby in your practice. And when you're ready, we'll start in a comfortable seated position. So finding a seated, ideally cross-legged position, but as always, if there's something more comfortable, if this isn't quite comfortable on the knees, option to use a block if you have it nearby, or maybe even come into rock pose where you're sitting on your shins. So find something that's comfortable for you. Once you have, let's close those eyes down. Let's start to center ourselves. Bringing your awareness to your breath. Take a nice big inhale. And on your next exhale, let out a nice long sigh. And again, inhaling. Exhale nice and long through the mouth. Two more. Last one. And then just return back to inhaling and exhaling through the nose, but keeping them nice and deep. Starting to become aware of what your body is doing now. So maybe just take a quick scan. Notice what parts are connected to the mat or the floor. Take a moment to really notice what that feels like. Is the mat or the floor cold? What sort of pressure is on that area of the body? And make your way through other areas of the body. Maybe pay attention to the shoulders or maybe the muscles on the face. Try not to change anything. Just use this time to notice, to pay attention. Check in with yourself today. See how you are feeling. One last breath here. You have the option to keep the eyes closed. Otherwise, let's flick them open, return back into the room. Really nice. Gently placing the hands onto the thighs or gently cupping the knees. Let's warm up the neck, drop the chin down towards the chest. Then roll the left ear over to the left shoulder. Bring the head down the back. Right ear to right shoulder. And keep going. Really taking this time to warm up the neck. Let's do one more. And after your last one, bring the head back to center. We're going to do the same thing with the rib cages. So pull the chest forward, put it over to the left, dome in the upper back, and then over to the right. Take these nice big circles with the ribs. Work through the back, the obliques. Last one. And then return the torso back to neutral. Let's take those head neck rolls to the opposite side. So bring the chin down towards the chest again to start off. And this time the right ear comes over to the right shoulder. Head forward all the way down the back. Left ear to left shoulder. Chin back to chest. Take those circles. Feel the neck slowly open. Last one. Nice. Bring the head back to neutral. Let's take that with the rib cage. So inhale, bring the rib cages forward. And then shift them over to the right. Dome the upper back. Over to the left. And keep going. This movement doesn't have to be really big. It doesn't have to be intense. Find what's comfortable for you today, matching what you're feeling. You may want to go and make your bigger circles yet. You may want to just play around and see how small you can make the circles. Both options are absolutely fine. Listen to your body. Last one. Nice. And then bring the torso back to neutral. Once you have, extend the right foot towards the side. And you have the option to keep the knee nice and bent if you don't want to get too much in the hamstring today. Or you can extend the foot long across the floor. It doesn't have to be wide. You can have it in front of, as far in front of you as you want. So find a comfortable position here. Once you have, drop the right ear over to the right shoulder. Take the right hand, place it on the head, stretching out the left side of the neck. Really nice. One more breath. And then place that hand on the back of the head, encouraging the head chin to coming down towards the left chest, as if you're trying to sniff your armpit. And then return the head back to neutral. If you want to, option to stay up here. Maybe this is enough for you today. Otherwise, let's start to walk those hands out in front of us. Maybe the elbows drop down towards the floor. And this isn't about how deep you can get in your stretch. Although if that's what you want, again, fine. It's just feeling how the body feels today. So as we've come forward, notice if you start to lift up the right sit bone. Notice what that feels like if you start to pull it back down towards the floor. One more breath. Gently walk those hands in, bringing the right hand to the outside edge of that right thigh. Let's reach the left hand up. Option to be nice and upright here. Otherwise, you have the option to sink a little bit more into that right side. Open up the left side a bit more. Keeping the left shoulder relaxed if we can. Maybe let out a little smile while curling the edges of the mouth upward. Last breath. Bringing yourself back up to seated. Really nice. And then gently turn to frame that left foot. Take an inhale. Exhale, slowly start to fold over the leg. Again, it doesn't have to be deep. You don't need to go to your deepest stretch. It doesn't have to be completely engaged. So if you just want to let that foot flop, absolutely fine. Just trying to frame the leg as much as you can. Maybe walk those hands out a little bit further if that's comfortable for you. You're holding here for 2 more deep breaths. Last one. Then take an inhale as you're coming up, bringing the torso back to neutral. Keep the hands going, bring them up overhead. On your exhale, let's twist over towards the left side. So left hand comes behind us. Right hand maybe grabs hold of the left thigh to encourage the spine to twist open a little bit more. But again, you do not have to push this. Maybe just come to where your spine naturally is, so you're not actually placing any weight on this thigh. The hands just gently resting. 2 breaths. Last one. And then slowly unraveling, return back to center. And nothing exciting, nothing special. We're just going to pull that left leg back in and then go out with the right. Again, option to have that leg nice and bent. Otherwise, extend it down the mat to find what's comfortable for you. Let's take our nice neck stretch. Bringing the left hand, placing it on to the opposite side of the head to encourage the left ear to drop down to the left shoulder. Try not to pull this too much. You're just allowing yourself to put a little bit of extra weight on the head. And keep pulling down with this right shoulder. One more. Gently start to guide the head so it looks like you're sniffing your armpit by placing the left hand on the base of the head. Two more. Last one. Really nice. Release the head. Bring the neck back in line with the rest of the spine. Option to stay here if this is working you enough in the hips and the legs. Otherwise, slowly start to walk those hands out maybe in front of you. And this, I always say, one side tends to feel different than the other. Take this opportunity to notice that. Notice where in the body it feels different. Is it the hamstrings? Is it the hip flexors? Maybe it's the calves, the back. Take this time to notice and understand your body. And really try to let go of holding on to muscles here. For today's class, I just want you to allow your body to be in these poses, rather than forcing it into something that might feel a little bit uncomfortable. Last breath. Really nice. If your hands are out, start to walk them back into center. Bring that torso nice and upright. Then bring the left fingertips to the outside edge of the left thigh. Let's reach the right hand up and over. Again, option to be upright with the body, so you're trying to get length through both sides. Otherwise, see what it feels like to pop the elbow down on the floor, get a bit more stretch through the right side. Again, maybe you bring that gentle smile to the mouth. Last one. Return the body back to center. Gently twist the spine so that you're framing the right foot this time. Again, option to stay here. Otherwise, start to walk those hands closer towards the foot. Again, no need to force this. Just notice where the body naturally starts to engage in some resistance as you come forward. See where that is. And then see if you can melt into that, so that is no longer resistant. Communicate with your body. Allow the mind to trust that you're not going to push it too far. And then maybe you'll notice that some of the muscles relax. Last breath. On your next inhale, let's bring that torso up. Keep going with the hands. Bring them overhead, have a big stretch. And then exhale, let's bring that right hand behind us, left hand rests on the thigh. Lifting the chest. Again, you don't have to force anything here. Maybe there's no weight at all here. Keep breathing. Slowly start to unravel the spine. Really nice. Then what you're going to do is just shift the bum over slightly to allow the legs to drop on top of each other. So you're stacking the right leg on top of the left. And then slowly start to make your way into a fetal position. So you're going to bring the arm underneath the head. So you've got like a little pillow to relax on. And maybe you bring the opposite hand so it's resting on your mat. Take a moment here. Again, just notice what it feels like as your body connects to your mat. Notice the side of the foot, the calf, the thigh, the hip, maybe even your belly, the ribs, the arm. Just notice what that feels like. Trust that the mat and the floor has your weight, so really allow yourself to melt and relax into this pose. We're going to be here for 2 more. Nice. And then trying to keep the legs where they are. You're going to slowly roll the torso over so the shoulders are coming to connect on the mat. You may need to shuffle around slightly to allow that to happen, and your knees may come up. If that is the case, maybe pop a block underneath the knees so it's not that much of a strain on your back. Once you have, again, option to close those eyes down. Twisting is a really good way to help the digestive system. It engages those muscles and your organs, encouraging them to get on with the digestive process. One last breath. Really nice. And then gently release those legs up so the soles of the feet are on the floor. You may need to shuffle the bum over slightly. And we're just going to go the opposite way. So drop the legs over to the opposite side, keeping the shoulder blades connected as much as you can to the floor. Once you have, allow yourself to close down the eyes and relax. Two more breaths here. Last one. And then gently make your way back so the soles of the feet are on the floor, knees facing upwards, and your whole back is pressed into the mat. Bring the feet as wide as the mat and gently drop the knees together so that they are touching. I'm going to take this modified Shavasana today. Allow the palms to drop out to the sides of the mat, maybe even wider, palms facing upwards. Letting those fingertips curl inwards, so try not to hold onto the muscles in the hand. And again, take that scan through the body. Take this opportunity to pay attention to what your body is feeling at the moment. Where are you holding your tension? Once you've found the spots, Maybe you use this opportunity to see if you can relax it a little bit. Imagine it melting away into the mat, into the floor, until it's outside of the room. As always, you can stay here for as long as you like today. Thank you so much for joining.